On damp days, the woods can seem to glow with color. Mosses pop brilliant green, and lichens plump up and brighten their hue. In a recent episode, we explored mosses, what they are, and where and how they survive and grow. Lichens can be found where mosses grow, and they are often mistaken for them. Like moss, lichens are non-vascular. They do not have the internal structure to transport water and minerals through their systems. Lichens are also low-growing, just as moss is, and they can often be found growing together since mosses retain the water that lichens require to grow. While mosses are simple, non-flowering plants that produce their own food through photosynthesis, lichens are organisms that are formed from a complex partnership between a fungus and an algae, much like a fungus-algae sandwich. You're probably most familiar with the fungus you put on pizza in the form of mushrooms, or the birch polypores that grow on the side of birch trees. And I'm sure you've noticed algae on the side of an aquarium, or in a pond or a lake or a container of water that has been sitting around for a long time. Lichens are composed or made up of these organisms that work together. The symbiotic relationship benefits both the fungus and the algae. The fungus attaches to a surface, provides structure to the organism, collects water and nutrients, and protects the algae from the elements. The algae uses the process of photosynthesis to create food in the form of sugars, the energy that both organisms need to survive. Lichen are hardy and can withstand severe conditions. They are found from the Arctic tundra to scorching deserts, and can often be found growing on hard surfaces with no soil, niches that have little competition from other organisms. Monuments, stone walls, and gravestones are just a few places to find lichen. Lichen are able to withstand very dry conditions and the complete loss of water without dying. They become brittle when dry, but become plump and soft when exposed to moisture. Lichen can be grouped into three main types: crustose or crusty lichen, foliose or leafy lichen, and fruticose or shrubby lichen. Crusty lichen has flat edges and often looks like paint sprayed onto a rock or tree, and it can't be removed from the surface it is attached to without damaging the lichen. Leafy lichen is attached to a surface by a small portion of the organism, and up close it appears to have small leaves. Shrubby lichen often hangs down from a branch or tree like a beard. It may look like a small bush or shrub attached to a rock or branch. Scientists have discovered that lichens grow in succession, with one form following another. Typically, first a crusty lichen grows on a surface, with a leafy lichen growing on top of the crusty lichen, which dies off. Then, a shrubby lichen will grow on top of the leafy lichen. Lichen are considered an indicator species, with the exception of crusty lichen, which can tolerate air pollution and can be found in cities growing on hard surfaces. Leafy and shrubby lichen do not tolerate air pollution as well, and their presence is an indicator of clean air. However, the absence of lichen is not an indication that pollution is present. The next time you are out and about, whether walking through the woods or around a city block, keep an eye out for these fascinating organisms. See if you can pick the lichen out from the mosses. How many different kinds of both do you find? What do you notice about where the lichen is growing? What about the moss? Try recording what you've discovered in your nature journal, and join us for more nature-based activities and insights to the natural world here at Merck Forest and Farmland Center.